Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85. I'm back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. And today, definitely a nice treat for you guys. We're going to go ahead and take a look at my Y-MSF Manda 1968 figure. So again, this is the 1968 incarnation of Manda from, of course, the film Destroy All Monsters. So this, again, is indicative of that appearance of him. Y-MSF had previously released their older version of Manda years back and then reissued it a couple years ago. But the thing was that version wasn't as movie accurate as it really could have been. I would say a lot of other reviewers and whatnot have said that as well, and I think the folks at Y-MSF even admitted to that. So that's why they wanted to go back to the drawing board on him and do the redesign. Now, last year they did release the new sculpt for Manda. But the thing was that release last year had Manda in more of a coiled pose. This one is actually the newer release that just came out for this year, which has the more straightened pose for Manda with a little bit of curvature towards the end of his tail there. But otherwise more of a straightened pose. Initially, I did try to get the coiled version. Just because obviously for spatial reasons on my shelf, because obviously I want to have him out on display. But nonetheless, though, I got after getting this guy in hand, in the recent past, I'm trying to remember, it was like a month or so ago, a month or two ago. But I definitely fell in love with this figure. Honestly, I would say this is probably my favorite Y-MSF figure. That's how much I really like it, and how accurate this figure looks. So thus far, I have not seen any reviews done on this particular mold of Manda. I've seen a few that had the coiled version, including of course, reviewers like Steven's Toy Reviews and Ultrazilla, but I haven't seen anybody do the new issue, which has the straightened version. So I really wanted to go ahead and dive into this. So let's go ahead and jump into the figure review itself, and we'll start, of course, as usual, with the paint and the detail. So, lifting my camera up and we're taking a look around. Start with Manda's face, which again, to me, and as the other reviewers said when they've done the coiled version, it really is a nice looking face that they really captured the movie accurate look, I think, here. So you can see the eyes done with this sort of, got the whites on the eyes, and then of course the black, and even like a little bit of gray outline on them too, which looks really cool. But it definitely captures that look very well. Very bumpy, very scaly on the snout there. You've got the nostrils, again, all the scales and the bumps along the face. And again, that face itself, wow, I mean, that really, like I said, to me that really does look screen accurate. And then of course you got the teeth individually sculpted, and they are pretty sharp. And of course you'd want to be careful with these as well. You don't want him to take a tumble and break anything there, obviously. But yeah, they look fantastic, the teeth. And you got the two longer fangs in the front. Got the nice red tongue on the inside of the mouth. And of course the roof of the mouth, again with that red color, nice detail work. The teeth done in a sort of, almost like a sort of tannish bone color, I would say. Again, though, they look fantastic, I think. And then, of course, the main paint scheme along Manda's body, you got this sort of brownish gray color, I would say it would be classified as. Of course, you got all the scales running down the body as well. You get that fin, which runs from the top of his head all the way down his body as well, up until the end of the tail, where you got that sort of web-like frill that he's got there. Because again, Manda's really, some people say he's like a snake or a serpent, but he's really, from everything I gather, he's really supposed to be a sea dragon. Again, his initial appearance was from the 1963 film The Atragon. So, and again, so he's sort of this underwater sea dragon. So, very, very awesome. And obviously like the Oriental dragon, which has this sort of serpent-like body. But really, really looks good. That frill really captures some nice detail work there. Hopefully the camera focuses in for you guys here. Take a look. Yeah, that really looks cool. I definitely like it. And then of course you got the underside, which is done again more in this brownish, like a tannish brown color, I would say. And you got all the segments and scales on the underside of his body there. And looks really good. And here's the copyright information, Y-MSF. Made in Japan. Of course, you got your Toho Company Limited there, so you got all your trademark information there. And of course, you got the his feet, his front feet, and his back feet, very thin. Supposedly, the folks at Y-MSF said that these are supposed to have the smallest vinyl joints in the world. So I don't know, I can't confirm or deny that, but that's what they claim. But nonetheless, though, really, really looks great. Feet done very, very well. You got the scales on them, you got the claws on the end. Again, done that sort of tannish, like that tannish bone color, like with the teeth. See the back feet as well. Of course, you got those claws on the backs of the hoofs there, backs of the heels. There's talons, again with that tannish bone color. Really looks fantastic, I think, honestly. So, just kind of taking a look around him once more. And, yeah, I really, really love this figure. So that pretty much covers it for the paint and the detail on this guy. Oh, and the other thing to point out, though, with the detail, if you notice, when you look along his body, all the scales, they've done this sort of glittered thing. Which if you have a camera that can really zoom in close, you can see it, but it's sort of to give him this sort of wet look to him. But again, you know, he is a sea dragon, so that makes sense. So that was a nice touch, though, done by Y-MSF. So I really, really do appreciate that. But that does cover the paint and the detail. Now for the articulation, and you actually do get a decent amount here. So we'll start here at the head. You do have rotation, and it can spin and go all the way around, so you do get the 360 there. Then sort of as the neck goes down here, got the base area, and you got to spin here. And again, you can spin that all the way around. And then another segment here, which does spin. It's a little stiff, but you can spin it. And again, you can get that to go 360 all the way around as well. And then you got one more segment here as well, one more joint. So, let's spin that. And again, it does spin all the way around, so you do get 360 there. Now, the only thing to keep in mind if you do rotate any of the joints, like some other reviewers have said with the other version, is that it does kind of break up the sculpt. So that's the only thing. But I mean, you know, if you just want to mess with it a little bit, though, you got all those points plus the feet, the front feet and the back feet. Here also rotate. And they can go all the way around. Front feet and the back feet. And just trying to hold this and making sure that the camera's picking it up, so just bear with me. So, for what this is, a vinyl figure like this, you really do get a lot of articulation, though, all things considered. Like I said, it will kind of break the sculpt up a bit, but it is still cool nonetheless to have all those points of articulation on this guy. So definitely much appreciated. So that should about cover the articulation. Like I said, you get a nice amount. So 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points, which I think the coiled version had as well. So now for sizing wise, so he pretty much will fit in with your 6 to 7 inch figures. Length wise, going from sort of the tip of the snout here all the way down to the frill and the end of the tail. I believe it's like about 12 or 14 inches long, but again, though, he's not standing upright. He's again a sea dragon, so he's lengthwise. But still, though, it pretty much does hold up and size in decently with your 6 to 7 inch figures. For the size comparison, though, I just wanted to go ahead and bust out the old version of Manda, just so you can see these guys side by side, and I'll lift the camera up just so you can take a look as well and see the differences. Now, obviously, again, now I like the old version of Manda, and I'm definitely going to keep this figure, of course. But, just to me, you can't, to me anyways, you can't compare this to the new one, because the new one is just miles better, honestly. It's just so much more accurate looking. Really looks fantastic. As soon as I saw the re-sculpt of Manda when the coiled version was released and I caught the reviews on it, I knew I had to have the new sculpt. So like I said, I tried to get the coiled version, that kind of fell through, but I ended up with the new release for the straightened version. I really do love it. Very, very happy to have this in my collection. So now, as far as pricing wise goes, I believe at release, now the Y-MSF figures are more expensive anyways. At release, I believe it was about, I want to say about $90 to $95 if you can get it for the MSRP. But unfortunately, he was only producing a limited quantity of these, and I know he said that once they sold out, they were not going to produce any more. They did, the same thing last year with the coiled version. So you're pretty much going to be looking at the aftermarket now, which that if you're lucky and you can catch it with a decent seller, you can probably get it for around $120, $120 to $130, depending. Again, it is kind of pricey, but these Y-MSF figures are rare. I always try to point that out when I review them. They all have limited sculpts, but more than likely, though, with these Manda figures, they're not going to be reissued or anything like that. So, especially from what Y-MSF has stated. So, if you are aware of the price and you're okay with it, to me, you really can't go wrong. Like I said, I think that they did an absolutely fantastic job with this Manda figure. To me, it's my personal favorite Y-MSF figure that I have now, and probably up there for sure among my favorite kaiju figures. I just really love this Manda figure, and was very happy about the pickup. So, other than that, though, I think that should about cover it for this video, folks. I would definitely like to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.